Hi, my name is Eric and this is my channel Himbo. Welcome. As you saw by the title, I'm going to be doing a movie review of A Masters of the Universe 2026. Premiered this past June. Unfortunately, it didn't do so well in the box office, but hopefully it picks up in streaming and on Blu-ray because it deserves it. I thought it was a great popcorn flick. I will highly recommend it to anybody who's looking just for a fun action film. And, and the best thing is, you don't even need to be a fan of Masters of the Universe to really get it. The film explains enough of its own lore and gives you an idea of characters without really have to be a fan firsthand. It's great for any newbies. I think almost there's no real barriers to enjoying it. It's just a fun, good action film. So yeah, I'm gonna begin into a few spoilers. I like that Adam explains his whole backstory on a date, but in the intro. The comedy could be. I love that the comedy was consistent throughout the was a consistent part of the film throughout the whole thing. I do think it was a tad too much or needed some refinement here and there, but overall, not big quibbles. Just wish they had landed some of the jokes a little better, but not a big thing. Just more being a little bit, yeah, just a bit me being a bit picky about comedy. Um, the pace was great. It didn't I didn't feel like it dragged or rushed. I like that when Adam was on Earth, we got a sense of his life and how he's struggling to fit in and be normal, and but trying to find his way back. And didn't it didn't over it didn't have to just overstay its welcome on those parts. I also another thing. I'm jumping forward a little bit, but like when he also goes to Eternia, we also don't get the formulaic or trope of him having a training montage to be able to fit into this world either. We just have him thrown into it, which is great. I like the visuals. The characters, from what I've seen, like the cartoons and figures just during passing, they look like what the source material looks like, which is great. I like that it wasn't unashamed of what it was based off of. I love that if anything, it just made me um, more appreciative, even though I'm not a fan. It made me appreciative that it wasn't ashamed of its source material, because it did it in a way where, yeah, I think even like I remember even a moment like in Star Wars where they had to over-explain some certain concepts of the Force and stuff, and it did in a way where it just didn't really add to the mythos or made it entertaining or enjoyable. And I think that's a flaw that many of these adaptations do, is feeling feeling a need to overthink to justify something that really doesn't need to be explained. For example, why does Superman wear underwear or cape? Because that's just how it was developed. I mean, if anything, it's more enjoyable for the fans to develop their own little headcanon as to why they do those things. In any case, this is an entertainment. It's supposed to entertain. If you're a little too fixated over these things, that means the story's not doing its job and not entertaining you because you're fixating on these things too much. I mean, it's one thing if it's quibble, but when you're fixating, it's not a good sign. I love that it subverts toxic masculinity. For example, where Man at Arms is training a young Adam. He's trying to tell him to be super tough, to be a warrior, to hit hard. I feel like you need to be more resilient. You don't have to be merciless. I think you can be tough, but without having to sacrifice values and like that. That's also a constant thread throughout this film as well, that even plays into the end where we find out the power isn't the sword. So I don't know how much it follows the source material or not, but like I like that Adam is the one who has the power. And even pretty much even kind of spoils that in the beginning where he has the HR seminar where they're doing that mantra of saying I have the power. I like that. I also like that in many of these types of film, and even this one, it does. It does kind of center on the trope of the chosen one saving the day, But I like that it at least emphasized that he can't do it alone. He needs the help of others. This is not a solo endeavor. Yes, he can help make the finishing blow, but he needs the help of others in order to make it happen. It's not a solely solo operation. He needs friends. Otherwise, even if it was just him alone, he wouldn't be able to do it. I also, yeah, like I said earlier, I liked how this film just feels unashamed of what it is. It's based off a toy line, a cartoon, and usually back in those days, the cartoons were basically to sell these toys and concepts. So it was really the toys came first, and then show and story came later. But yeah, but it did it in the best way possible. I think they chose a great director. This guy, Travis Knight, he did Kubo and Bumblebee, and those were two great films. I remember Bumblebee, and especially because the opening sequence where a bit of more spoilers. They're on Cybertron, and it's this great CGI showing of all the Autobots fighting Decepticons on Cybertron, and it's this great little short piece that made you wish that was the entire film. Understandably, that would have been an expensive film, but like still made you wish that nonetheless. But yeah, he was a great choice. It just very felt like a writer just reverted back to his inner child, and as he feels like a kid playing with toys again. Basically, that's what it felt like the script was, but in the best way possible. It, it wasn't brainless or anything like that. It like some other popcorn films can be. This one had messaging and heart and great emotional beats that. Oh, and I should get to the actors as well. A lot of them carried this film really well. The actor whose name escaped me plays Adam. He does a very good job of being very likable, of having good range that you feel for him for when he fails, for when he's trying to be sincere. Even if he's a bit naive, he's trying to be sincere and trying to work things out with people. I like that. I also like Idris Elba. He's always great. He's always solid. He made this character that you can easily dislike the drill sergeant in him, but you get to empathize or sympathize with him when you see his fall from grace and try to rise back up. Kristen Wiig was great as Roboto. I didn't even recognize her. Reminds me a bit of the robot, Alan Rickman's robot from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh, and Fisto, his actor was great. If anything, I wanted more Fisto. I'm surprised side note, I'm surprised he got away with some of the innuendo jokes, but I guess there's enough context that either it passed the censor's head, or just that it wouldn't be that big of an issue. But either way, Ram Man, I saw that Ram Man and the actress who played Diane, they were actually performed by two stunt actors, and they did a great job because I thought they were just actors, period. Not that stunt actors can't be actors, but I just thought they were just the stunt folks, and I'm glad he got a chance to be in those roles rather than having to just be the actors' doubles, because I thought they did a phenomenal job. I hope to see them more in other stuff. Definitely wanted to see a bit more Ram Man and Diane. But yeah, the Kung Fu of Diane was especially good. I really like that, the effects of Ram Man and Mechaneck, and I really like how they handle those effects. His extended legs and the use of Mechaneck's neck. I can't think of anything else I want to say. Oh, the music! I can't forget the music. It had this great 80s synth that I'm guessing kind of sounds like it also came inspired from the cartoon as well. It had it just made me feel like ready for battle, but also wanting to dance at the same time, which is I can't think of much music, but maybe I'm the weird one who wants to do those two things at the same time. But yeah, it was great. It was, I believe it's David Pemberton. This film was great. I really want to see a sequel, and I hope they move forward with it. I hope it doesn't get lost in limbo or whatever. I hope the cast returns because all of them are great. I hope to see She-Ra because, so like pretty much my only familiar with Masters Universe is just knowing a little bit of the toys. My friend Nate made me see original Master Universe film, which I did enjoy, but more like, you know, it's kind of B movie slash bad fun type of film. I also will say I did like Dolph Lundgren. Usually when they do these revival adaptations, they always have, you know, past actors, and usually it's a cute wink and a nod type cameo appearance that, you know, varies in terms of quality or really being necessary. But I thought him being there, the way he did it was really nice because they gave him a little message of the front doesn't matter, it's the back, the foundation, as it were, that counts. But yeah, I like that message as well. I like, yeah, I like that. And just to go back to the comedy of it, I like that they weren't afraid to just get silly with Skeletor, even though he's the main villain. When he raises a sword and says, and Evelyn says, maybe try again, once more feeling. Or when Skeletor says butt worms. And even one part where he's confused when he gets into He-Man's mind and just confused by the HR office. Like, what the hell is even this place? This is a suffering on a whole new level beyond my ken, I imagine he would say. Or really just thinking of how absurd it is too. But yeah, like I said, I highly recommend this film. Everything about this film was just top notch. Thank you for checking out my first review. Hope you enjoy. Keep on nerding, guys.